Good morning, good morning. Yes, we are here. I'm here. How are you guys? Welcome, welcome. It's 10 o'clock. You know, I've been busy working already because I'm thinking on all the things we need to do. All righty. Buenos dias. I was listening to Sarah Brightman a minute ago, but you know I had to turn it off. I don't want the YouTube police to come after me for copyright violations. Oh dear. Buenos dias. Come on and stand. Estoy muy bien. ¿Cómo están? Hola. Hey, Greta. Buenos dias, amiga. How is everybody doing? Welcome to the live. All right. You know, every time I use this this microwave, it's like the thing is not bien. It's not steady. So I don't know what is going on. You listen to that. Alrighty. So today is Vegan Bowl Day. Vegan. So I have been busy prepping because if I don't, then we'll be here forever. All right, so for the Vegan Bowl today, we're gonna be making our veggie balls, and you're gonna enjoy that, Greta, because this is something real simple that you can make. It replaces meatballs, and if you make a little bit of marinara, or if you want to buy it, you can. I just made a little bit of red sauce because we're gonna toss our balls in there so they're not hard, right? So I made a little bit of marinara. The only thing I didn't have any white wine. I was at the store the other day, and I had my list, and then I was like, okay, I need to get the wine. And then I get distracted, and I get home, didn't have the wine. I have reds, but I've been drinking my Riesling. I don't have any white wine, but it still tastes pretty good, right? So I went ahead and made the marinara, okay? We're gonna make our veggie bowl. What we're gonna put in our bowl, veggie balls tossed in our homemade marinara. Then we're going to make ratatouille. Ratatouille is, and again, I prepped ahead because if I were to just wait for you guys and start doing all this cutting, it would take too long, right? Okay, turn the AC on. So, ratatouille, yeah, it's not is it a cat or the mouse? The movie, remember? Ratatouille, I love that. Hola, Andrea. So, in this pan, I have diced eggplant, carrots, zucchini, and yellow squash, bell pepper. I have tricolor, so I have a red, green, and yellow. And then I use my herb oil. I'm almost out, right? So I put a little bit on there, and then I kind of seasoned it, salt, pepper, and then I squeeze some lime juice. Good morning. And now the oven is ready. We're gonna pop it in the oven. What happens? Okay, you're already here. He's already busy messing up. And then, I need to put a little bit of oil. And you want to cook this. Oh, and tomatoes. Oh, you have to have tomatoes. You have to have tomatoes. Next time we make it, I'm going to put it with slices and make it like a round in this kind of pan, and it's going to be really nice. So next time, But right now, we just diced everything. So tomatoes, eggplant, you have to have eggplant, right? Now, don't put broccoli and cauliflower. That's not that kind of dish. So I always feel like if you are going to do someone's recipe, show respect for it, right? If I say I'm making a version of ratatouille, yes. I was even tempted to put some curry powder. You know, I'm into curry powder. I'm like, no, let's just stay true to the recipe. So it's eggplant, carrots, squash, zucchini, tomatoes, and the tricolor bell peppers. So that's gonna go in here. And I want it to cook fast, so I'm gonna turn the oven up a little bit. So that's gonna be next to the veggie balls. And then I have a little bit of quinoa left, so we can use some quinoa because you just want, hello, good morning, chocolate. I'm doing fine, thank you. So we're gonna do a little bit of that quinoa, or if you want to do some wild rice, you can do that. I even thought of doing, maybe I will. You know, this lo mein, it cooks like in 5 minutes, and you just toss it a little bit of oil, a little bit of butter, and then it's good to go. So I might be able to, I might put a little bit of that. You know, we use quinoa a lot. Maybe we will do this. Hola, Benita. So good to see you. Buenos dias. I know. You know, curry powder and what is this one that I love to put in everything now? And turmeric. I like to put that in everything just because I know turmeric is good for you, right? So, veggie balls, ratatouille, some kind of carb. So it would be this or the quinoa. So I'll keep thinking about it. Maybe I'll make up my mind. And then I got a nice avocado, and then we're gonna put avocado. So I was thinking also that we need something. Ooh, I was going to do beets. But I wanted to roast the beets and I forgot. So I might have to just boil it. I think it would give a pop of color with the red. So let's do that. Because beets take a little bit of time to cook. So let's, I don't like to boil beets, but I don't have a choice if I want to use it, because the best way for me to use beets is to roast them. That's the way I like them. Some people put them in, you know, in your smoothies. You can do that. And then for the veggie balls, that's going to take a little time. Oh yes, beets. You just get the beets. Let me show you. I bought only 2. You wash them off, and then you put them in foil, You sit them in foil. You douse them with a little bit of oil and then salt and pepper, and then you close the foil and pop it in the oven. I love roasted beef, but because you know, remolacha, that's what they call it here, remolacha. Carrots is zanahoria. Onions, cebollas. Calabaza squash. So for the veggie balls, what we're gonna do, I'm gonna on the stove, I'm gonna do peppers, onion, garlic, and then I'm gonna toast some oats. I have black beans and chickpeas. I'm gonna pulse them in my blender so they don't come whole. And I wanted to get the texture right, so I'm gonna roast some tomatoes and sweet potatoes and squash, and then that's gonna give me the texture because it's vegan. You could also bind all the mixture with an egg, But I'm being true, true to the vegan, So we're not going to do that. So we're going to use the texture of tomato squash and sweet potato because, it's got that yummy texture, and that's going to help me form the balls. So keep watching. How's everybody doing today? I get excited. My brother is here, so I cooked yesterday. Yeah, try it. You're gonna love it. So now, I'm just going to be hoping that the beets will cook rather fast because, it's a hard veggie. Oh, look at that. I'm gonna throw it in here. I put some little bit of salt. The reason I don't like to cut it up, I feel like I'm losing some of that red. When it boils, it gets red, and it's like I don't like to lose stuff like that. That's why I don't like to juice, because I like the fiber. I like to take it in and not throw it away or trying to figure out what to do with it. Eso no me gusta. I don't think it's that one. I have so many covers. I tell you, I don't think it's that one either. Doesn't fit right. There's no heat, so we're just gonna have to make do with that. Okay, so I need to put the potatoes, the sweet potato and the squash in the oven. So the ratatouille is in the oven. And this is the squash. Be careful, these squash, they're very hard. Ooh, look how pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? Yes. And I think I told you before, I like to buy the squash already cut because that way I can see, I can see how rich it is, which is what I want. How you guys doing? I'm doing fine, thank you. Busy, busy, busy. Always busy. Yeah. Careful when you are peeling squash because, the skin is really hard. And you can also, I showed you here, you can buy a pack that has your soup items, your yam, your yuca, and the squash pre-cut. So if you're worried you might cut yourself, buy it. Buy it pre-cut. Why not? We just used to doing it, so we're not worried about getting cut. But if you are, so if you can get the beet to cook, we're good. Because I forgot to roast it. I could have. And it roasts, about an hour. So now we're gonna get some potatoes. Again, it's for the texture. We had what I call a monsoon here in Panama. Was it on Wednesday? In Panama City, it rained and rained and rained. And some streets get flooded here. So what we're we're gonna do also is we're going to get all our veggies. So I have some black bean. This is like what was left over from me making, what did I make? What did I make this week? I can't remember what I used the black beans for. All right, where are the potatoes? Potatoes. Understand? Oh, there you go. So yesterday I made something I call bouillon with oxtail. Ooh. I'm gonna post that video for you guys to see. But I bought this bag of really small potatoes for like $1. So I'm gonna rinse and cut them up. I was listening to Sarah Brightman, which is one of my favorite singers. I think she's English, but I don't know, I just fell in love with her voice the first time I heard her. All right, so we gotta peel these babies really quick. Now, I made some roasted potatoes the other day for a dish, but this is not that kind of dish. You wanna peel your potatoes here for this. Oh, okay. The beets are boiling, so we should be in good shape. Alrighty. I just want these to cook fast, so I'm gonna cut them smaller so they can cook faster. Okay? Woo. But I know the squash cooks really fast. Now the sweet potato, not so much. So if you're making a stew and you're using squash, put the squash in last. Maybe the sweet potato as well. Sweet potato doesn't take too long, usually. All right, so we're gonna do the same thing with the regular potatoes. And then once that's in the oven, we're gonna saute the vegetables, and then we're gonna start mixing the ingredients for our veggie bowls. I love veggie bowls. And when I make them, I make enough that I just put them in a baggie and put them in the freezer. And then every so often, if I feel like it, if I always have marinara, I can just toss some in there and have pasta or quinoa. Because I buy meat when I have company, but I don't usually eat meat. But if you present me with an oxtail, I'm eating it. And I had a big oxtail. I tried to do a video yesterday to show you my haul, but this on the phone that I have just cannot upload the video. It was like 25 minutes. That's why I use Zoom for my videos, because I just can't fool around with these phones too much. Especially, sister here is not technically savvy. So I don't want to. It took me days to figure out how to get a key for my ebook where people can just pay for it instead of waiting for me to, telling them to do Cash App. So I finally got it. So I was in that chair in front of that laptop for a while trying to figure it out. Trying different programs like ConvertKit. I went into Canva, and they say you have to have your own website. It's just too much. That's why I hire people on Fiverr to do some of the stuff, because I just can't be bothered. I think it's too late for me to become a techie. That is not one of my aspirations, I can tell you that. All right, let's just season this a little bit. I don't want to use the rest of my herb oil. I think I want to save this for my bowls. So I'm going to manually season this. A little bit of oil, not too much. Salt. I remember being in school and getting this and just doing this, and the chef was like, Maggie, what are you doing? I'm like, what? I said, this is not how you salt. Put it in your hand and then you, I'm like, come on. This is the thing, you know, I don't get hung up on all the little pretty whatever. I just know I'm a good cook. And when I cook my food, it tastes good. That's all I want. I don't care about all the different little designs and all the pretty stuff that we do. You know how you're watching the shows? I'm using more of my Old Bay seasoning today because I'm almost out of my adobo. And I'm like, oh, how did I miss that? It wasn't on my list. Paprika is always good. And lemon and pepper seasoning, yeah, why not? Because I have it. All right. Now this one doesn't need acid, right? Because it's just potatoes. So remember, your hands are your best tools as a cook. Don't be shy. All right, so I'm gonna pop that in the oven and hope it cooks. I got my, all right. So now it's time to get not toast, but to saute whatever we're gonna put in those veggie balls. Yes. So I'm gonna get this, my bigger pan. Yep. All right. But you know how we start. It's onion, garlic, and then we'll do the peppers. Now, things are gonna go into your veggie ball. You don't want anything to be too chunky, right? Okay. So I'm gonna give it another chop. You don't want chunks of onions. All right. Oil. And we're gonna get the garlic ready. Fresh garlic, you guys. Do not use garlic powder. You're gonna hurt my feelings. There's an event today. It's like a food event for Cologne. Cologne is the city here in Panama that has the highest number of African Americans. Actually, I should say Afro-Panamanians, black people. And, you know, Panama, when they were building the canal, when the French couldn't do it and people started dying of disease, and guess what? They needed some black people to do the work. So they went to the Caribbean and recruited people from Jamaica, Trinidad, and what's the other place? Barbados. Of course, they had Indian, Chinese people here, but they made an effort. It was a concerted effort to recruit people from those areas, and they came and did the work and built the canal. But at the same time, you need to know the history that because the Americans are the ones that finished the canal, right? And when they came, they brought the whole 1950 system here, where they had, people with lighter skin colors getting the better jobs and better housing. They call it the gold system. And then the silver system, I'm not telling you anything that is untrue. You can go to the Silver Museum here, you can look it up. That's what they did. And then the black folks were the silver, so they got paid less and the accommodations were not as good. And even they said black Americans from the US who came here to work in the canal were still treated better than the people from the Caribbean. There is nothing new under the sun, okay? It's the same old, same old. I went to a place in Chiriquí called Puerto Amuelas, and they were showing me remnant of the housing. How, they have some houses that look really nice, and then some that were like real simple. Yeah, it was the gold and the silver system. So when you wonder if we've been here before, yes, we have been here before. Nothing new under the sun. It's the same. The entitlement that we deserve better than them or whatever, I don't know. I can't understand the rationale, but that's what happens. So after the canal was built, some of these folks stayed, intermarried, and that's why one of the reasons Panama is such what my friend Hilario calls a paella of cultures. And I did a video earlier this week, about why Panamanians are so happy, right? Well, it didn't get that many views. People didn't seem to be interested. But I make videos that I feel bring value, right? So it's not for me, it's not about views or subscribers. Yeah, they're nice. But I know what my mission is to help single older women come to Panama and age safely. That's my mission, right? So if I'm making videos, I make videos around that theme to, educate, uplift. That's what I do. So whether it gets views or not, okay. Alrighty. So, no tomatoes in this recipe. Alright? This is cilantro, you guys. That's what I was able to find. So big. Oh, here we go. Alright. Alright, so we're sauteing our onions. Once they're soft, you add, you see I love garlic, right? I do. And then when I'm listening to the podcast and they're like, oh, garlic is so good for you. And then this person said, oh, soak the garlic overnight and then drink the water in the morning. I'm like, I'll eat the garlic, okay? I'll eat the garlic. Ew. I don't know. They're also saying drink a tablespoon of olive oil before you go to bed. I'm not doing that either. I'll put the olive oil in my food. I am just one to follow the latest trend, craze. I'm just not that kind of person. No. No lo voy a hacer. I'm not doing it. But anyway, in Cologne, you have the largest group of Afro-Panamanian. And let me tell you, the people are beautiful. Their skin, they look so lovely. The kids look amazing. But their plight is not no different than ours. Because the same system, seemed to be everywhere. So they had a couple of, they were building their community, they were thriving, and then they had a couple of fires. Basically destroy the city. I'll let your own imagination soar. So Cologne has been struggling. Some people say Cologne has been forgotten. I don't know. I'm not a local. But all I know is like when you go to Cologne and you see the building being dilapidated, it grabs you. But the people are beautiful, and there's a guy called Michael Chen. He is Chinese Panamanian, and he's on a mission to put Cologne on the map. So a few months ago, I think in May, we had a program he called Sabores de Cologne, Flavors of Cologne. It was held on top of a mall, a rooftop, with no covering. It was hot. But let me tell you, that event was so well attended. This is the thing here in Panama. If you have an event, people will show up, okay? Especially if you have food. Because the event was designed to highlight the food scene, the food of Cologne. And of course, you have all that mixture of Panamanian, Chinese, Caribbean, let me tell you. I'm not vouching for how healthy it is. I am not. But the fish, the escoviche, and the rice with beans, and the plantain, and they have other things too. So today, Michael he repeats the event, but he's going to have it somewhere on the causeway, at the Amador Causeway, at the old convention center. I think they call it Kigali. And I'm going to try to, stop by. Because last time when I went, they had the kids, they had the band, they had music. And then when you go to Cologne, in addition to just, they have the sow, which is the cow foot or pig foot. I'm still working on that one. And then they have the rice and peas, they have the fried fish, they have escoviche fish. But they do other things. They have different kind of pastries like that bread, that dark bread, brown bread, they have that. But one other thing that Cologne is known for is the raspa. Raspa is the sweetened drink of shaved ice, but they say Cologne one is the best. I haven't had the one in Cologne, but I know I've stayed away from it because it's like some sugars just slapping you upside the head. Sweet, shaved ice, and they put the syrupy thing on top. They put condensed milk, and then in Cologne they add some powdery thing. I don't know what's in it, but apparently people say it's the best here in Panama. So they're gonna have that. The lines were crazy last time I went. I mean, I went there and I spent maybe an hour and sweated everything out. It was so hot. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this one goes because it's going to be inside the convention center. And I don't think there's a cost to attend. So if anybody's here in Panama and you're listening, and they started yesterday, I think it's 10 to 7. So when I finish with you guys here, I'm going to try and make a run for it. I haven't asked my brother if he wants to come, but anyway. I always like to support stuff like that. Like 2 weeks ago, we went to the artisanal fair. My daughter was here. It was a wonderful event to see all the stuff that Panama, the hats. I bought my hat there last year. Boy, they had so many hats. And the food, oh my God, the food was popping. So, and the music, constant entertainment. Panama doesn't play when it comes to entertainment. You're going to have tamborino, you're going to have the people with the beating the drum, You're gonna have the kids with the baton and dressed to the nine with their boots. You're gonna have that, and you're gonna have regular music, and you got mucha comida. That's how we do it here in Panama, okay? Now, they're not having fireworks because it's in the daytime, even though they've had fireworks early in the morning. We love fireworks here. But one of the reasons I told people that Panamanians are so happy is that they invest in leisure. They invest in it. They don't believe you work. No, 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 no. The weekend is for la familia y entertainment. So when you go to the mall on the weekend, you see like families, you know, like the extended family. Ooh, why am I putting green? No more green. I need some yellow. I have yellow, I just need some reds. Right? So that's what we're gonna put in our balls. And then I'm gonna get my pretty bowl and then we're gonna start putting it together. Yee, that's the fun part. That's why I told someone, I think one of my students, I said when I went to school, I did not think I would ever get this knife skill down. Because I was like, I can't do that. And then one day I was doing it. I'm like, oh, I'm doing it. All right, let's finish this one. But I remember when my finger almost got sliced off in a slicer when I was doing my training at this restaurant. My finger, I didn't know how to use a slicer, and the chef didn't show me, and I tried to grab something, and the slicer sliced like part of my finger off. I bled for almost an hour. But that's what you do. If you're a cook, you're gonna get cut, you're gonna get burned. I still have marks on my arms from working. Yeah, burn marks. Oh, look how pretty. I'm gonna season and then add some cilantro. Cilantro. Okay. Cumin, you know I'm in love with cumin now. And I think I'm putting a little bit of turmeric in this one, just because turmeric is good for you. Put it in your smoothie and whatever food you can put it in. Paprika, see? Sage, no. Dill, yes. I ran out of basil powder, but that's okay. That's okay. It might need a little bit of salt, but that's okay. I think I'm gonna wait until I mix everything. Nice. Now a squeeze of lemon juice. Very good. I don't know what I can put in here. I have a little bit of jalapeno. Love jalapeno. We're gonna do that. Then we're gonna pulse our beans. All right, I think I can take this off here, but we're gonna do a little bit of jalapeno, not too much because we don't want it to be hot. When you do the end, then you're less likely to get the seeds because the heat is in the seed, right? see, when you're doing this, if you put your hand on here, this knife is not gonna run away from you and cut you. That's called control, right? All right. Oh, that's good. That is good. All right. I'm happy with this. Also, when I have made balls in the past, I have used a little bit of coconut milk as a binder, but I don't have coconut milk today. So we're gonna use the potatoes. All right, I'm going to mix my ratatouille a little bit to make sure that everything cooks evenly. And then this is the time too you taste it to make sure that, you know, all your spices are on point. So I'm going to taste. It's a piece of eggplant. It's got enough salt. Yep. It's good. So it goes back in the oven. And the potatoes are looking good. All right, heat is off. So now what I'm going to do is pulse my beans. And put those back. I'm taking a little bit of that cornmeal out and I'll show you how I use that. So, we're gonna get our bowl ready because that's how we're going to put together our veggies. Ugh. All right, so we're gonna mix everything in here. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna put that mixture in here. Then I'm going to use the same pan to toast my oats. I got these avena. That's how they say oatmeal or oats. Okay? And when they say integral, that means it's wholesome. They haven't stripped it. My day is fine, thank you. Smells good so far. You can smell it, right? Oh, that's funny. All right, so what we want to do with the avena, we want to toast it because we don't want it to be too raw as we are mixing it in for our, let's see. I think that's good because we're going to have potatoes and we're going to have the beans. Yep, that's good. Okay. So now we're going to pulse our beans. All right. Got our blender here. Now I'm going to put, you know how they say black bean burgers? You can use the same recipe. The difference is how you shape the mix. All right, so we're gonna put, make sure we don't have too much water, but I'm gonna use all the black beans because I just don't want to have any left, okay? The black beans here take a long time to cook. I really don't get it. They are hard. All right, so I was cooking some chickpeas. You know I don't buy chickpeas in the can anymore, right? So let's get some chickpeas. I'm gonna leave some of the chickpeas and I'm gonna roast them just a little bit and use them as a side for my bowl. That's why you kind of have to constantly be thinking, what's next? What am I doing? What am I planning? That's what cooks do. You know, the chefs, they're always thinking about pricing, you know, ingredients. And that's a different. People think that chefs just cook. The chefs that you see at the restaurant, they have to have management. I don't think I have enough. Let me just do a little bit. Okay. All right, so that works. Because this chickpea that's left, we're gonna toss them and toast them a little bit and use them for our bowl. All right? So now, we just want to roast this oat. You need oat if you're gonna make veggie burgers or veggie balls, okay? So now I'm going to just pulse this mixture. I don't want it to be fine. And then I'm gonna drop it in my bowl. All right, so I pulse them, and now they go in here. Now, one thing I forgot to get was olives. I love black olives in here. Yeah, I forgot. Forgot. Okay. Ooh, that's good. Yes. Keep an eye on your oat. Don't let it burn. Anything that's burnt, it's a little bit difficult. And then I do have a little bit of veggie broth if I do need to use it. And I'm going to use another pan when I'm ready to roll and cook the balls, because you do have to cook them again. Oh, it smells so good. And this is the same thing I do when I'm making granola. We were going to make granola on Friday with the members, but I was missing the nuts and other things, so I let it go. All right. Let's see. Let's check on our potatoes and see if I'm ready to mash them yet. They look amazing. Look at that. Look how beautiful. Ooh. Yes. Now see, you can just roast your own potatoes on the side and then have your meat or your grains and you're good to go. Guys, play with your food. And taste your food. All right, I'm gonna need a masher to see if I can mash this potato here. Okay, I think I can do that. All right. Let's bring the potatoes over here and mash them. Again, they're gonna help with the texture of your balls. So if you're vegan or you're vegetarian, this is a perfect way for you to enjoy something that's a little bit different. What's on the menu today? We're making a vegan bowl. So your masher comes in handy. Oh wow, perfect. And the ratatouille is, let me turn the heat down a little bit for the ratatouille because it's gonna be in there for a while. I think what I could do with the beets now and is put them in the oven so they can just crisp up. Oh, that's good. Good idea, Maggie. Since the oven is already on, oh, let me get some foil, otherwise it will stick. Always thinking ahead. So I cut it in half so you could cook faster, and I think it worked. So now I'm gonna do exactly what I would have done if I wasn't pressed for time. Ooh, I smell my oat. All right, I think my oats are good. I'm gonna turn the heat off here. You see, you get what we call multitasking, right? This is what I meant with the roast beef. You just dazzle a little bit of oil, and then you do salt and pepper. All right, let's do that. Oof, I am warm. The oven. So by the time the ratatouille is done, the beets will be nice and toasty. Excellent idea, Maggie. That was good. Let's finish mashing our potatoes, squash, sweet potato. That's going to help the texture of your bowls. Yes. You need a masher in your kitchen. Don't burn yourself. This is right out of the oven, so it's hot. Yes. All right. All right. Ooh, don't burn, don't burn. Let's put our oats in. Well, I think we got everything that we want in terms of mixing. So now it's just a matter of doctoring it and making sure that the texture is good, that your flavor is good. I'm gonna put lots of cilantro in here. Not thyme. Thyme is a little bit too rough for this. If it was dry thyme, yeah, but I don't. Oh, I might. Oh, yeah, I have some. Yep, we're gonna use some of our. All right, so this looks like I might need a little bit of liquid. This is where either the egg, which we're not using, or a little bit coconut milk, which I don't have. But I have veggie broth, so I'm gonna put a little bit. You don't want it too wet or too soft, right? Okay, so now let's doctor it up. Lemon and pepper, a little bit. Actually, it doesn't need a whole lot. It needs a little salt. I know that. Pepper. Another thing that sometimes I add is a little bit of breadcrumb. I think I have some plain breadcrumb. So we're gonna put a little bit, not a lot. All right. Okay, the rest of my adobo. Little bit of turmeric, just because. Paprika. And parsley dry. You know what? Now that my ratatouille is almost done, this is almost done. So now it's time to decide whether I want to do quinoa or the lo mein. What do you think? What do you think I should use as a side for carbs? I could do quinoa or I could do that lo mein. I know it's not, it's kind of Asian. We're gonna do it Asian. Let me know. All right. We need some dry herbs. So remember my dry herb jar. I have gold in here. Nope. This is allspice. No, not for this one. Cilantro. Yeah, I could use some of that. But this is like, no, we don't need that. Fine herbs. Yes. Dry thyme. Dry thyme. Little bit. No mucho. Cilantro, of course, a little bit dry. Okay, I need some oregano and finest herbias finas. Yes, fine herbs. It's a mixture of a bunch of different herbs. That's why I say use herbs to season your food instead of Maggie. Not me. The quinoa. Okay, thank you. I'll with the quinoa. Oh, everybody says quinoa. Excellent. Woo. Okay. Something happened. Too much. Oh my goodness. No, Maggie. That has that much oregano. No. All right, so if we want quinoa, I better get it started. So we're gonna use this. Why is it so? Oh, I thought I turned it off. Okay, so we're gonna use the same pot here. I'll burn myself and cook the quinoa. And look what else we have. Look at this beauty. I bought this yesterday. It was $2.50, but it was worth it. So hopefully it looks good inside. Alrighty. So I think I needed oregano, and that's the one that went over. Okay, so we're done here with my, you know, I've seen people have like nice little shelving where they can put all their herbs and stuff. I don't have that, so I did the next best thing and I put it in a jar. Okay, so for the quinoa, I have water, and then I'm going to add a little bit of veggie broth, okay, because we want our quinoa to still have a little bit of flavor, a little bit of salt. And keeping an eye on the ratatouille, don't want it to burn, and a little bit of oil for the quinoa. Okie dokie. All right. So now my herb oil, remember I was keeping that for the veggie burgers. So I'm going to put some of that in there. And we're going to go to work. A little bit of the veggie broth. Okay. And then I'm going to make a mixture of a little bit of flour and cornmeal that once I roll the balls, I roll it in that mixture to give it still a little bit of body. And then that's when we start cooking the veggie burgers. I mean the balls. But like I said, you could use the same recipe, just shape it differently. So I'm gonna try to see if it's gonna hold its shape. All right, this would be our veggie ball. And we're gonna cook them on the stove, okay? All right, let me taste again. Oh, we haven't put acid. All right, I think I need to put the rest of my herb oil in here. All of it goes in. I think the salt is enough. Okay. So, we're gonna add a little bit of flour. A little bit of flour, a little bit of cornmeal. You know, I do that when I used to cook fish, I would use that as the batter. And for the fish and chicken or whatever, you add a little bit of baking soda. Baking soda would make it pop and puff for the crust. I don't know who told me that. I think it was a chef. You know, you kind of learn little tricks of the trade like that. Okay. So, come on, quinoa. Put the quinoa. I don't have much, but that will do. All right. Oh, acid. We forgot acid. Boy, I've been using this lime for like 3 dishes. Consistency. Oh, and I haven't even put my cilantro. I gotta put fresh cilantro in here. All right, let's see. Okay. Cilantro. On here. Now this one, I want to put it really fine. All right. You know, you put a dash of fresh herb in your food like that, can't help but taste good. That's what I said. Use herbs. Usually you want to use them, the fresh one, at the end. All right. Let's put the pan down. I'm not even sure if I want to use this pan. This is an old pan, but I swear by it, okay? So don't criticize. You know, it's like you have your, I used to have when I used to make, what is it again? Brownies. I had a special pan that I used. I mean, it didn't look like much, but let me tell you, it did the trick. I used all the rest of my veggie broth in here because I didn't have coconut milk. All right, so now we're gonna start cooking the balls. As you see, it's not that much oil. That little jalapeno I put in there was just perfect. All right, so we're gonna start forming our balls. Ball, roll, and then the challenge is to try to keep them at the same size. And then we'll do a couple of burger patties, so you see that you can use the same recipe for your, if you say you're gonna make veggie burgers. Same thing. All right? Now the quinoa is ready. The water is ready for the quinoa. So we're gonna put it in. I was listening to Alessandro, I forgot his last name, Assini or something. Oh, I love the way he sounds. Alessandro Cassini. I can get the tripod right. You got to be gentle with these balls. Because remember, you have the oats in there. And that's why even when you're getting ready to toss them into the marinara, you have to be real gentle because it doesn't make much for them to fall apart. Okay? It's a lot easier if you're doing patties than doing the balls. And that's why you put the potatoes and the other stuff, just to give you that texture that you want. if they have a contraption. You know how they have things for you to make patacones, tostones. I wonder if they have something to make balls. But you know, when you make meatballs, you do them with your hand. And I'm sure somebody's gonna come up with, okay, let's turn the heat down. Yep, that's how you do it. And you might say, oh, that's too much work. Well, it's relative. You know, if you look at it as work, then you're not gonna do it. If you look at it as something that you enjoy doing, then it's not. Oh, I tell you, they have such fancy things with these things here to open the bottle. I'm like, why do you make it so difficult? Oh, this one wasn't so bad. A little bit more oil. And then I have enough left over, you know, to eat the rest of the week. I can use more quinoa. I can do some rice and peas. And I have ratatouille, so I'm set. But I did buy some wings for my brother, so I have to cook them, I guess. Ooh, that is that big piece. Oh, sweet potato. Okay. Take you out. Few more. And that's the other thing too, they tend to soak up the oil. So you want to use good oil. Make more room. And we'll do a few patties. A few patties. But it's all about veggie bowls today. Two more and then we'll do the patties. Eye on this quinoa. All right, so let me show you how I would shape a patty. Let's see. make a few patties here. All right. So if you wanted to make veggie burgers, you could make those patties. You know, I need to keep an eye on those balls. We're going to be turning them over also gently. Gently. You don't want your patty, your ball to fall apart. Whew. Ow, I touched something hot. Okay. Don't burn. Turn this down. So quinoa, ratatouille, beets, and avocado. That should do it. Yeah, that's good. All right, a few more patties. And we cook the patties the same way. But I would suggest if you're going to do this one, if you're not vegan, just add a couple of eggs. And the egg works, is the best binder that you're going to have. You know, that egg yolk and you know how slimy the egg yolk and the egg white is. They act as a really great binder. So the challenge with the patties and the burgers is always the shape and making sure that it keeps its shape and doesn't fall apart on you. All right? Yeah, look at that. Look how beautiful they are. I think maybe 2 more. And we would have used all our mixture. Yep. Last one. This one's gonna be chiquito. No, it's more like a ball. I think it's gonna be a ball. It's not gonna be. We don't have enough for for another patty. All right, done. So also, it's not something that you're going to you know, do all the time because of the time that it takes. All right, I think we're good down there. We're gonna turn the oven off. The ratatouille looks good. So now we're just waiting on this quinoa. All right. All right, so we're gonna take our burger, our balls out, and then we're gonna cook our patties. Now, what you don't want to do though is take those balls and put them inside the marinara. They're gonna fall apart. Okay, so you just kind of mix a little bit of that sauce on there, and that's it. They are not designed to go inside a marinara like you would do regular meatballs. Okay? So I think these need to cook a little bit more. I need to see a little bit more color. No, these are good. No, not yet. Now see, I can just touch them and know that they're not ready. Okay. All right. So we can throw this thing out. Clean up a little bit. Get our bowl ready. I'm anxious to cut into the avocado and see what it looks like. Woo-wee. A little bit kind of dry here. All right, are you cooking? Yep, quinoa's almost done. Need to puff up a little bit more. Okay, I'll take this one. You know, when I went to Peru, quinoa is native of Peru. They make a lot of quinoa. And I was telling my brother, I brought some back with me. And when I got to the airport, the officer said, "What do you have in there? Do you have any, thing that you're not supposed to bring?" I said, no fruits or vegetables. He said, "What else do you have in there?" I said, "I have some quinoa." He said, "You're not supposed to bring that here." I'm like, "Grain?" And then someone said, "Well, maybe the grain may have infestation or whatever." I'm like, oh, I did not think that far. But I went to that market and you can buy them, is it by the kilo? Oh, it was so good. So I bought a bag of red and black, because here I can find the white one. It's the other colors that I might have trouble with. Okay? So you do have veggie patties that you can have, veggie burgers, or if you just want to have that with ratatouille and avocado, that's a meal. You can have that on a bun if you want, but you don't have to have it on a bun. I don't use bread like that, so. But when I made some last year or 2 years ago, I did use a bun just to show people what a veggie burger would look like using our recipe for the veggie balls. All right? So you eat a few and then you freeze the rest. And when you're ready, you're going to eat them the next day. You just take them out of the freezer, leave them in the fridge. That's how you thaw it out. Right? Don't leave it out. Even though it's safe, because there's nothing in here that could make you sick. No meat. It's just grain and cooked veggies. So you're safe. All right? We're just waiting for the quinoa to puff up a little bit, and then we're going to plate. We are ready. Ooh. I said something about, maybe I don't need the, yeah, I don't think I need to do any more chickpeas. We have chickpeas in here, so we're good. We're going to be chickpea'd out. But you know, if you want to be vegan, sometimes it takes you a little bit more effort to stay away from the meat, right? But look how pretty they are. I usually like to take a picture to say, this is the fruit of my labor, and I'm proud of it, right? Whew. I have the AC on, but I am warm. Oh, we also have our beets. Ah. Oh yeah, we got beets, and then we have avocado. So we're good. We are good to go. Aww, they look so cute. I just want a bit more color on these. They're just being rude to me. They're not cooperating. Ooh, hot. Did something go inside? That's what you get, Maggie. Oh my goodness. Mmm. Mmm. Yes. With my vegetables. Want to see my vegetables. To see my vegetables. Want to see my vegetables. Okay. Alright. Let's cook those patties. For those who may want to have patties. Alright, if you're going to make any comment about the oil, I'm sorry. But, like I said, you need some fat. Ooh, I broke this one. This one. I picked it up wrong. This one. And once they hit the pan, they do firm up a little bit. Okay? Alright, so after those are done, we are done here. Let us get ready to plate. So I think what we would do today, we're going to use this plate. Is that my Chinese looking plate? Where is it? Oh, here. So we're going to use this one for our bowl today, right? Let me get the ratatouille and the beets out. Ugh. Ooh, ratatouille and the beets. Now the beets are hot, so I'm gonna put them in the freezer quickly because I won't be able to handle them like this. All right. I put it in the freezer. Quinoa, this, cilantro. Alrighty, we're going to gently roll our patties over. Gotta be gentle. All right, almost done. So, come on, quinoa. Yeah, 2 more minutes. You're done. Ooh. Yes, looks good. All right. So, we're gonna take a bowl and we're going to toss. Well, not a bowl, maybe this. We're gonna put a few veggie balls in here, and then we're gonna just pour a little bit of the marinara on them. I think maybe 4 is enough. This is our marinara. So we're going to just douse them with a little bit of the marinara. Okay? So they don't get, so they're not too dry, right? You don't want dry balls. So you don't want to soak them in that either. All right? Okay, that's good. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna turn the heat off here. So we're gonna add these to our bowl. I was thinking maybe I should have put them in the middle. In the middle, probably. Yeah, the middle would be best. Veggie balls in the middle. In the middle. Ooh, the marinara tastes really good. Okay. Ratatouille. Ratatouille. You see how it kind of shrunk a little bit? But look at that. That's goodness right here. So let me put it right here to kind of cover the, oh man, that looks good. Woo-wee. Ratatouille. Yes. The beets, well, let's get the quinoa on first. Everything's turned off. You know, and this is the thing, you know, whatever you cook is something that you cook yourself at home. So you know what it is, how it was cooked. Ooh. Yes. Whoa. C'est très joli. My French is coming out. Très joli. Yum. Now let's get the beets. You know, you take some shortcuts. I needed to be able to handle these hot beets. So, yep, it's not easier to handle. So we got to peel it. Yeah, I love Alessandro Safini. Oh, that's his last name, Safini. Yes. Whew. I absolutely love beets. My mom used to make us eat that a lot when I was growing up. And they used to make juices out of it. I remember that. We made juices out of everything. We ate a lot of soursop. And there is another fruit we call kashima. I don't think I've seen that here. But I watched some videos in the in Asia, you know, like people who live on farms, and it's like they do have it, but of course, no idea what they call it. All right, so I think I need to get so I can pick up these hot beets, tongues. So we're gonna put the beets right there. And yeah, that's Alessandro's, one of his songs that I love so much. Okay. What we're making now is the avocado. And it's a surprise. Look how beautiful. It was green yesterday and then it turned this color today. I guess maybe that tells us it's done. Well, the knife goes in nice. A ver, a ver. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Whew. It's okay. It could be a nicer color, but I'll take it. I will take it. And then we're just gonna cut them in to the side. This is not a hard, so you don't have to make it, it's pretty, you know, long. But this is amazing. This is our vegan bowl. Oh, well, let's see. I need maybe a little bit of avocado. It's too white. I like them dark and creamy. Okay. There we go. Yeah, but I don't want the red in it. Well, it's next to the beets, I know. But I don't want it to be pink. So I'm gonna take this one out. And put another piece right there. Okay. It tastes good though. Wow. With bread, that would be amazing. Okay. So, I feel like I need something in the middle. What do you think I should decorate it with? Look at this bowl. Oh my goodness. Maybe one more ball. I think that's what we'll do. One more ball. Tossed in the marinara. Maybe I'll just pour the marinara on top of it. Right there. And then we'll get the marinara. Listen, if somebody gives you a bowl like this, be grateful and say thank you 10 times. Yeah, I think that works. Voila, people. Our vegan bowl. It was a labor of love. Quinoa. Ratatouille, roasted beets, veggie balls in marinara, homemade, and aguacate. The quinoa is better. Okay. So what do you guys think? Was it worth the time? Yes. 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 A vegan bowl. Today, no meat. Nurse Clayton, what do you think? Woodstock. Okay. Andrea, are you guys there? Are you seeing the vegan bowl? I need some feedback. Well, I think it came out pretty good. It was a labor of love. And if I fed this to my brother, he's gonna have enough to eat for lunch and dinner. No feedback. Look at you guys. Are we frozen? Oh, maybe it's one of those times where the chat stops working. It's possible. Hey, technology. But anyway, it's 1:42. We've been at this hour and 42 minutes, so that was good timing. So you guys can tell me later on what you thought of the bowl. Quinoa, ratatouille, roasted beets, veggie balls in marinara, homemade, and aguacate. So I need to get a little bit of lime juice on this aguacate before it starts going brown. It will do that. You have to make sure you do that with avocado and potatoes. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining. I don't see the comment, but I'm thinking maybe it's one of those times where it stops working. But anyway, God bless. Thanks for hanging with me this morning. I love you. Bye. Oops. Where's that camera? Gets in the way.